not going to happen overnight. It's probably going to happen differently than we think, but it is a great industry for countries like Canada and the United States to be focused on. And it's something we could do better than the Chinese and Indians at this stage.
I have two questions involving real estate. One, in India, when I was there in December, Goa has decided to limit their foreign investment into real estate. Do you think that's
Where Goa?
Yeah.
I was there too.
Okay. It's nice that their real estate prices have gone down last fall because they started to limit foreign investment. Do you think that'll continue in the rest of India? And second question is, do you see commercial real estate in North America decreasing as much as residential, or how do you see it in addition?
Okay, let me go to the second question first. We just put in our newsletter, commercial real estate now is following residential real estate. It held up later. We thought, because as long as the economy is good and unemployment, I mean, it's going to grow. It's a different cycle than residential. I mean, different residential is different. Commercial will get hit the worst by this downturn because of high unemployment and slowing economy. And it's continued to go up while residential real estate is flat or declining. So commercial real estate now has more downside than residential from our point of view. And again, same thing. People will listen to my speech and say, well, I'll go buy a commercial real estate REIT. They've been getting good yields and blah, blah, blah. No. Healthcare REITs, yeah. Somebody's going to do real estate in hospitals and pay a dividend. Yeah, they're still going to be operating. Apartment rentals, because people can't afford housing now. Maybe some really light industrial parks that take all the companies that are downsizing from the bigger office buildings may do kind of okay. But commercial real estate is one of the big danger zones we see in North America ahead. It's kind of like Vancouver. It stayed up the latest, but it'll probably be the hardest to fall in. India, I think as a general rule, again, India to me is the greatest real estate opportunity in the world if you're looking out for decades. And in fact, we had one guy in our newsletter who sold all his he had most of his real estate in southern Florida. He sold that at the top and then put it in India and has tripled his value in India in the last 3 or 4 years. So he's a very happy camper. Now, on the other hand, in this global downturn, what you expect to happen is that all countries start saying, it's a fixed buy, boom, 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 I'm not trading as much, I'm not doing this and that, not allowing that. People will tend to be more protectionist. You know, and Goa's been developed. I was there, it was like, God, what did you do? You know? It wasn't what all these people told me it was 20 years ago. It was a paradox. You know? So there's going to be, you know, the nicest places want to restrict growth. It's always like, hey, we're here, but we don't want anybody else to come. So that's a natural tendency. And there's going to be a certain tendency for all these countries to restrict trade with each other in capital flows. And you already see that in the United States particularly. Heavy movement. Gosh, don't outsource jobs. Don't do this. That happens in downturn. Eventually, countries will realize, no, wait a minute, globalization is the trend. It is part of this 80-year cycle. So the countries that do cooperate and trade more and cross. And I think what's going to happen ultimately, a big coup about 10 years from now, major developed countries like North America and Europe are going to realize the only way we can really get China and India and emerging countries to get in line with our goals of reducing terrorism, increasing trade, and reducing global warming and pollution is to say we're going to invest in your infrastructure if you do this. But that's what they're like. They need capital. India needs capital. The difference between India and China is capital. Not motivation, not number of people, it's capital. China has created more capital in the government, top down, and they've attracted more foreign investment. So eventually, India, I think, needs to go in that direction. Whether they will or not will determine their fate. But I still think, myself, I'm talking to major companies or major real estate investors, if you're looking out 10, 20, 30 years, India would be my #1 priority for the next leader in the world, more so than China. China's in its later stages, like Japan was in 1990. India is just coming into its own, and it's got a long way to go. Also means it has some obstacles. The government does not have its act together, although they're moving in the right direction.
After Harry's presentation, we heard